Hey, welcome to Geek Out Live, everybody. I'm Susan. This is Andrea. This is Dan. I'm not going to forget to say my name on this one. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. So welcome to Geek Out Live. We are going to be talking about a piece that we have been talking about, but now it's like an official framework from Russell, which is awesome.
So exciting.
So let us know if you're here. Say hello in the comments. We'll keep an eye on comments. And yeah, all right. So I'm trying to pull it up, but it's not working. All right. So if you guys don't know, if you haven't seen anything about it yet, this week has been Inner Circle week for Russell. Russell's Inner Circle, which includes like Inner Circle, Category Kings Atlas. And so different days of the week, they've been doing different things and different gatherings. And I had the opportunity to attend Inner Circle on Wednesday and Thursday and got to watch what was happening there and watch Russell's presentation, which was awesome. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Do we have any like housekeeping stuff?
Wait a second. Okay, let's just.
It's open loop, Andrea. It's open loop.
I just happened to be there.
Right,
Just happened to be
exactly.
there. We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
All right, Andrew, just let her.
All right. It's like, you're not going to be humble on us, are you, Susan? Because this is a big week for you.
Well, I don't want to just sit here and talk about it. You guys got to ask me things or something.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
So some of you guys saw the post, right? About so soon Susan has been asked to represent ClickFunnels and ClickFunnels events, and correct me if I misspeak in any of this, Susan, on Funnel Hacker TV. So I made a post in our group where it was the big debut this week where her and Ben went live. Now, this is a huge opportunity for Susan. And I also think that it helps our Geek Out community because now we're going to have this like inside track and know-how, and she's going to be like on the front lines reporting back. So anyway, it is a giant celebration and a huge win for everybody. And so, yes. So it was awesome. So it doesn't like you just didn't happen to be there.
I happened to be there.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to get like real specific, I was there by invite from Russell Brunson. Like,
yes, a big deal.
But you made an awesome point of like this. So the whole like Funnel Hacker TV is back. Like that's the exciting part because if you're new to the ClickFunnels world, you may not even know it existed to begin with, and that's okay. But Funnel Hacker TV was where Russell used to go live, and it was just this whole thing, and then it went away for some time, and we're bringing it back. Me and Ben Moot, and we're co-hosting it, and it's a win for the entire ClickFunnels community and marketing community, because this is going to help everyone to have like this inside look, right? Like we went live Wednesday and Thursday. If you didn't see them, you can find that there's a link in this group, but we're streaming in multiple places. So there's links in the official ClickFunnels group is the main place where you can go find it. Maybe the ClickFunnels page. So it's an inside look at like what happened during Inner Circle, and we were able to talk about things that were happening and like big key takeaways that we were having. What it is not a training show. We're not teaching Russell's frameworks. I saw some comments for some people on the actual stream. They're like, this is great, but like teach us the things. And we're like, well, we're not Russell. Like it's his stuff. We're not going to come here and teach his stuff. Like you got to buy his programs to learn the things, right? So that's what it is not. But it's to help everyone feel connected in and know what's happening and more communication around everything. So, and hopefully make it exciting and fun. And we're going to bring people on and talk about things and highlight awesome people in the ClickFunnels community. Like all of that's to come. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Super exciting. Super exciting.
So that's why I was there.
Yay.
Which got me a seat inside of the room. So I got to actually listen to the things that were being taught. The thing that we're talking about today is Russell's first presentation on Wednesday morning. And so if you guys know of Linchpin, we talk about it all the time. And Linchpin is the framework that Russell's making all of his businesses follow. It is the thing where it's like you got continuity, dramatic demonstration 1 and 2, MIFKI. It's that whole thing, right? But always been this piece where it's like, okay, but how do you get like what comes before linchpin? Like, how do you fill linchpin? And Andrea and I have talked about that a lot with you guys. And we even like adapted it. Andrea drew out her like our own model of it. Like, we think this is actually happening over here, and Russell's not talking about it. So we're going to start talking about it. Cool thing is that Russell saw our videos where we were saying like, Russell's not talking about this. So he's like, oh my gosh, they're right. And he went and he created a framework about it. And so it is a new framework. We can't reveal it right now because he just revealed it to Inner Circle people this week. And sorry, my throat's dry and scratchy. So we can't reveal it to you yet, but it's coming. I think it's for sure going to be revealed all at FHL. Okay, somebody else talk for a second.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is, so I feel so validated because, you know, oftentimes we talk about that if you are in the category of, I'm trying to make 10 to 30K consistently every month, right? That a lot of times, especially because we have a lot of clients that are in that boat, we are currently kind of like off and on in that boat, right? Depending on what lens we're looking at it from our company. So I think when you're in that boat, it's very, very, very hard to focus on continuity first, especially if it's a level 1 continuity where the price point is not very high, right? The numbers just don't add up. And so for a lot of our clients that are in that 10 to 30K goal, consistently every month goal, right? The focus usually is on a dramatic demonstration 1 to a high ticket, right? And so that is in order for them just to like get the wheels going and start to have income coming in. And so I think what's really cool about the new model is that the focus is first and foremost on that traffic part of the equation. I usually say that this is a little bit like blasphemy in the ClickFunnels world, but I'm a big believer that you actually don't need funnels to start your business. What you need is a traffic system and your message dialed in. That is more important than anything else because that's what everything follows. And so again, it's just really cool to have that like reprioritization on the traffic side. And I was even more excited in that we talk a lot about in the traffic space, there's the Wild West, and then there's the nurture, and then there's the retainer buyer people, right? But a lot of people don't talk about the nurture space at all. They go from like Wild West, I'm just going to post stuff, and then all of a sudden, magically, it's going to convert to my buyer space. And that never happens or rarely happens. You have to have this nurture space, which is, we've talked a lot about group track on our calls. You need a nurture strategy. And that again is, I'm so happy to have that start to be in the mix there. So yeah, super cool.
Yeah. And so taking a look at like what has happened in Geek Out, and I think we can also take a look at Dan, your community and what you've done. Mm-hmm. That we kind of have followed that. Like it's been there. Like that's what happened just naturally was like, oh, let's start publishing things. Let's just go and put ourselves out there. Dan, you do that a lot with like how-to videos and tutorials, and you put them out there, and that is what brings people into your group. And then from there, like now they're in your world, and now that you can move them into different places in your linchpin. And I think that's the same thing that's happened with Geek Out is we were like, let's just start publishing. Like we actually didn't intend on turning it into a business when we started, but
no, it was going to be like a hobby at most.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, we were having a conversation yesterday afternoon in one of our live calls in the academy. And yeah, excuse us all here today because apparently we all three have a cough. We all three have some sort of sinus thing going on. So we're all going to try to.
We're kind of a mess, aren't we?
I mean, I was feeling good before I got on the call, and now all of a sudden my nose is running, and so yeah. I think I'm catching something.
It's the virtual bug.
The conversation we were having yesterday was with one of the members. He asked, well, you know, how do I, you know, put myself out there? How do I start getting business? And I said, well, one of the things I did when I first started off way back 2016 in ClickFunnels is I was on the live calls all the time. Every day they had like a Q&A call at like noontime, and people would jump on there and ask questions. Well, some of the times the people running the show didn't know the answers or didn't properly explain it as far as I was concerned. And I would get off the show, I would shoot a video, and I would DM it to the person that had the question. And they'd come back with, you know, oh my God, I never expected somebody, thank you, all this kind of stuff. Well, first off, it puts you out there. It makes you confident in what your abilities are. Whenever you get in front of a camera, you start shooting something, you start teaching something, you get much better at what you know. And then the other thing is, it's a great way to get testimonials.
Yeah.
And that morphed into me doing a lot of the videos that I do online in YouTube on how to do things inside of 2.0. I mean, 1.0 then, and now 2.0. And I always joke that half of the reason I do it is so I have something to go back to and look at myself, because I can't remember all this stuff. And it's really, it's turned into now that it's not a joke. I mean, in the last week, I probably had to pull up 3 of my old videos just to remember how to do something. And so there's a lot of reasons to put out content, but all of them are good. And just start putting it out there, answering people's questions, serve the community, and then it will come back in spades, because we're seeing that now. We've been giving to the ClickFunnels community, all 3 of us collectively, for years, and now it's coming back. And again, somebody else yesterday was also talking about proximity. Well, you put yourself out there and you put yourself out there, and eventually the people who are the people you want, your Dream 100, they start contacting you.
Yeah.
And they start going, oh, hey, I've been watching your videos for 2 years. I'm like, okay, great. That, you know, you don't know that they're out there watching you. They're lurkers. But boom, 2-3 years later, they call you up and you go, oh, yeah, I'd love to come and work with you.
Yep. So true. So true.
It is very true. Got Armando, and I'm sorry, I can't see anybody else's names in the comments, but welcome everybody. Yeah. Okay. So, attractive character flywheel. Like, what is the name of it again?
I don't know.
Sorry, excuse me. So, what it is, I'll try to describe it without giving it away. And it's Russell's framework, but it is the traffic system to get people into your linchpin. It includes, like, the biggest thing is newsletter. That's number one. So on the flywheel model, on the framework. So if you guys seen the most recent linchpin one, it's numbered, like, oh, start here. And it goes like continuity, MIFG, and then I forget what it comes after. It's like, I feel like it goes counterclockwise. Then in the attractive character flywheel framework, it's also numbered, like, start here. Number 1 is newsletter. So I think that's like what I was gonna talk about today. And Andrea recently watched a training from Cody Sanchez.
Oh, awesome!
Which I haven't been able to watch yet because I haven't nailed down where it's at. But newsletter is like the thing, right? Russell's always been like, you got to build your email list. You got to build your email list, which is why also the Your First Funnel Challenge is creating an opt-in. Like, it's creating your funnel hub, like starting to create your funnel hub and your opt-in. And so those two things are what you're putting out there to have a place to start gathering email lists. I mean, that's not the only place to do it, right? We collect a lot of emails from people joining our prospecting group, but it is like the funnel strategy way of doing it.
Yep.
And not paid newsletter, Armando, just newsletter, just email list gathering. And then one of the things that Russell said, which I thought was really cool, and I think it's okay that I say this, is that for a long time in the beginning, he was doing a lot of story-based emails. And then it turned into more marketing. Like, how many of you guys are on Russell's email list and you get an email and you're like, I know there's going to be a pitch in here. Like, it's going to be all like, what's his latest offer? And we don't really open them unless we're like really curious about, like, okay, what's he selling? Right. But that's the question we're asking is like, okay, what's he selling? It's not like, oh, let me open this and read a really cool story.
Yeah.
And he recognized that and he's like, okay, we're going back to the other way. Like, we're going back to stories and redoing newsletter. And so he's implementing that in everything that he's doing. Every one of his businesses is like, newsletter is foundation because we got to lead with value. And yes, there's going to be call to actions in the emails, but it's not always like, go buy my thing. Right. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. We are going to be having a newsletter with Geek Out, right? We've been collecting your email addresses, but we don't send anything out. So we will be doing that.
I think what it got me really interested in more too, and I mean, we've been dancing around this bush for a while, right? But like we hear a lot of people in our world talk about stories and story arcs, right? And I think it is this beautiful invitation, if we really want to embrace newsletter, is to start learning more about like what is that story arc that we're trying to go for, and what is that story journey in there. So anyway, I think we're gonna get probably in the Geek Out formula, start probably talking more about that, because I think it's a critical part of, like you said, Susan, to lead with value instead of lead with offers, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to say here, because I saw something in the comments, I think it was from Grace, asking if we had a picture of, I think, the flywheel thing or something. Yeah. And one thing I have to point out to everybody who's watching is that collectively between the three of us, we're all in funnel builder certification, 2CCX. Susan now has her gig with ClickFunnels. She'll be getting a lot of insider information there. So it's going to come to a point where we have to make a determination of what can and can't be shared, because we don't want to reteach Russell's stuff. But on the other hand, if we have his permission, then we will. And maybe we do it only in the academy. Maybe we do it on lives like this. That's something we have to figure out at this point, is what are we able to share without stepping over the line? Basically, I'll just leave it at that.
Well, there's also we'll try to do whatever we can on resources. Like, for instance, the Cody Sanchez newsletter thing that I listened to, that was a part of the TCCX program. But like, we can share the resource, right? She's amazing. She doesn't usually talk about her newsletters, but I would encourage, like, if you are really interested in newsletters, I'm going to drop the link. That's her newsletters. So go be a funnel hacker, go hack those newsletters and just kind of check them out. She, again,
contrarian thinking.
Yeah. I mean, she has big levers, right? So take that with a grain of salt, but she was saying that her newsletters can contribute up to like $1 million to $2 million in like revenue. So it's crazy in terms of like the amount that they impact the business. So if nothing else, I would check those out and design hack them.
Well, my other question there would be so I think newsletter, I'm old Dan Kennedy stuff. I'm thinking physical newsletter, 8 pages, 16 pages long. You're talking more like an email, right?
An email newsletter list. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, is it just an email that goes out, or is it an email that then links to some content that you would consider to be part of the newsletter?
Andrea?
No, like it's like it's contained. I don't quite know how to answer that. It's a contained unit. You know what I mean? Like it's an email that would go out like a traditional email, and it has all of the information inside of it. Does that answer your question, Dan?
Well, what I was thinking is that it could be something along the lines of, okay, here's the email, but it has, it might have different bullet points in there, or think, table of contents in there, which would then send you into your 2.0 account to different pages where this content was. So it would be like a newsletter, but it would be in a digital format.
I would encourage us to put it into the form of a blog. Right. So like, I think that part of the power of us having 2.0, right, is the leverage of search engines. And so I would encourage that if you are going to do a newsletter, and what I hope we do, in the Geek Out group is, we're turning our YouTubes into blogs, but now I think it would be important to have another category called newsletters, and that those all turn into blog posts. And if you look at the link that I sent, that's essentially what she's doing too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think, Dan, we can put that into your group as well, but it's just contrarianthinking.co is the site, and it takes you right to where you can sign up. So, so that's just one piece of the flywheel. Armando, leverage in search. I like that. Okay. So I think that's the exciting bit though for us, is like, Russell saw the hole, right? He saw the hole and he went and did something about it. And now we have this another framework to follow. Other things that you might guess, like it's not a secret, of ways to get traffic is short form videos, long form videos. And then there's like affiliate marketing. Like these are all things to help you get traffic into your linchpin. And so it's just kind of breaking it down and giving you something to focus on, which is exciting.
Which, interestingly enough, so on the short form, long form, so because we've been playing around with that for a little bit, and I have it on a couple other clients too. And what I am finding so far, so straight from the trenches, in the weeds, actually doing it. What I'm finding is that the short form will drive traffic, meaning like increase your viewership, but especially on the YouTube front, they're not repeat visitors. So on YouTube, you want consistency and you want repeat visitors. You want them to like watch the next thing, and YouTube wants you to be bingeable. So we on the short form, or if that is your strategy, I would say make sure that you also have a long form and that your shorts point to your longs and that those longs are consistent. So don't just go out of the gate, because I think some people are getting like super excited and they're just like making a crap ton of short terms, you know what I mean? And then just like posting it out there, which I think can actually maybe hurt you on the YouTube front. So if you are on the YouTube front, I would say have some long form strategy that your shorts can point to, and your longs are the consistent thing that's bingeable.
I'm not so sure though, because that's what Eric Thane does. He focuses only on shorts, and he does Instagram and YouTube, but
Right.
he does a lot of YouTube and he's very successful at it. And I think that the trick is learning how to put the right type of call to action into a short form video, which we have not figured out for our Geek Out yet. We're still working on it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Because it's like on that same note, though, like it's not like you would go from short to short to short, unless maybe the content is so good that you would want to, right?
That is the point of like, if you're on TikTok, if you are a TikTok user, and I think maybe Instagram Reels, it's people do this as well. I don't know about YouTube, and I think that's the question here, right?
Yeah.
But on TikTok, if you find one that you like, it's easy to like swipe over to the rest of their stuff, and it's so easy to binge it. And when I was using TikTok for consuming, I would do that all the time, and I'd watch like 50 of their things, like all in a sitting.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is on YouTube though, because I don't really consume short form on YouTube.
I do. So, all right, here's my guilty confession. I don't know why. This is me sharing probably way too much, but I'm really interested in Eminem. His life is fascinating to me. The fact of like how far of a reach he does, like I don't know why, but his life and him, they're just so interesting to me. So I will say that from a like, can I consume more of him? At least when I'm on YouTube Shorts, I don't have like, it's just going to feed me whatever it's going to feed me. I don't have the option to like go binge shorts for something that I am watching and wanting to watch, right? I'll see it more consistently in my short feed, but I don't necessarily have that option to like binge it, So that would be interesting. Yeah, to see how that translates, or how that could translate over into the YouTube world.
Yeah. If you guys don't know Eric Thane, definitely do you know his handle?
Six-figure filmmaker. Oh, his handle on YouTube or I don't know his handle on Instagram. But he is
go look up Eric Thane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and the last name is Thayne, right?
Yeah.
Ayne, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here, I'll put his YouTube station.
Is that who we did that membership site for?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. So we built his membership site, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
So Eric Thane spoke in Mexico at Mastermind in Paradise, and he spoke again at Inner Circle talking about short form content. He is just killing it with it. So if you want to go learn what is working right now, go watch his content and hack it. Yeah. He is the one to go and follow right now on that.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Can you type out his name and put it on the screen so people can Google him?
Yeah, is it in our
I have it in the comments. The YouTube.
That's the link. But can you just type his name?
Oh, sure. Yep.
And the comments that you are typing are only going to YouTube. They don't go anywhere else.
I don't think I have the ability to go anywhere else.
If we pull it up on a different window, we can. Oops. Oh my gosh, it's like, when you type something out in a Facebook and then it tries to like tag, like auto connect, like tag. It kept putting Thane, Wyoming on it. I'm like, no, this is not a location. Okay.
Yeah, I got something else. It wasn't even that. Yeah, it just drives me nuts when you get that and then you hit enter and then you put something out there with somebody else's name linked in it. you know.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, definitely go check him out. So, all right. Do we have any other announcements, anything that Andrea's kind of been holding on the fort this week, and I feel a little out of the loop. So
No, so we have after party later today. After party's been really good. It's been quite fun. We have our products page. So one thing that we tested this week with our after hours geek out members, which was so fun, we have a new way of doing templates that we think are much more accessible than just doing like a plug and play template, like what you would get from the ClickFunnels store. It's more wireframe so that you can still then put your genius on. So we're starting to have some offers and some packages around that. So if you're interested in that, that will be coming out next week, which is really exciting. And then we also have, if you guys haven't seen it, we're launching. So I think we launched 4 new funnels this past week. And so we now have a page that addresses all of those. So if you are interested in doing a funnel hub in a day with us, or you're the Geek Out on Demand, or booking a discovery call or joining the academy, we now have one place that you can go to kind of check all that out. So we'll be sure to have that in the Facebook group and then also probably on our profiles. So yeah, those are the public service announcements, I guess.
yes.
Well,
Awesome.
now I'll add a couple of things too. For the last week, since last Saturday, when I got this idea from Winter Jones, I've been building out the Style Guide Showcase. And I showed it to Greg Dakins this last week, and he thought it was really super cool. Gave me a couple of ideas. I can show it to you guys if you want right now or not. But then I want to let everybody know that the audio I had with Greg last week sucked. So I'm going to talk to him again this week, Wednesday, at 4 p.m. Eastern. And that will be after we do my Geek Talk show, where Andrea and I are going to be talking to the guys from the affiliate group, the ClickFunnels affiliate group, Tyler and Turner. And we're going to be talking about how to set up an affiliate program inside of ClickFunnels. We figured out how to do that last week. And then also on Tuesday of this week at 2 p.m. Eastern time, the 3 of us collectively are going to be interviewed by Greg Dakins for the Funnel Builder certification program. So we're going to be out there all over, plus everything else we're doing next week. So we're all going to be busy, and Susan's going to be hobnobbing with the rich and famous. And so that's cool.
There's nothing happening as far as events next week. But in case you're curious, Funnel Hacker TV will be live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 Mountain Time, just 10 Pacific and 1 Eastern. So if you want to make sure you're watching those, that's when they will be, unless you hear otherwise.
Yeah, very exciting. Awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
right.
So yeah, so if you're a part of our Geek Out After Hours, then we'll see you here at 2 p.m. Pacific. But then yeah, I think other than that, I think those were all the announcements that I knew I had, and Dan, good ones there. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later next week, maybe.